What's going on, guys? I'm supcharls, and today I'm talking about some gaming news which I thought was interesting enough to mention on this commentary for this week. And basically I'm gonna, talk about them, and without further ado, let me just start off with the most interesting news that I thought, at least, because I grew up with Jak and Daxter, so I might as well start with that. So Jak and Daxter is coming to the PS4 with the PS2 emulation thing. That is pretty exciting. It is all 4 Jak games that was never released on the PS2 back then, which is Jak 1, 2, and 3. And then Jak X, which was my favorite racing game of all time. So I'm really happy to see them return for the PS4, and I can only hope in the future that they will announce a Ratchet & Clank trilogy, or all the PS2 versions of those games that were available with Ratchet & Clank, and also with Sly, because I really loved Sly, Cooper, Ratchet & Clank, and Jak and Daxter in general when I grew up, and I only played those main 3 franchises when it comes to the PS2 era for the most part. Maybe some Dragon Ball games, but from a exclusive standpoint, it was those 3 franchises that I played the most and what I grew up with, and I enjoyed every single one of those games because they were kid friendly basically. So that was why I enjoyed them, and the gameplay was just pure fun. So I would love to see Ratchet and Sly also return, and I can only look forward for all the Jak games coming out later this year, because there is no release date yet, so that sucks, but at least I have something to look forward to now. One thing I'm curious about though is the fact that since it is from the emulation, I'm kind of curious to know how good it is gonna look on the PS4, because it is up-rendered 1080p resolution or something like that. So I wonder how good it's gonna look, because Jak 1, 2, and 3 on the PS3 got a remastered collection or trilogy as well, and it looked pretty good, but I'm curious to see if this PS4 version will look better, because it technically should in my opinion, but since it is a emulation and not a remaster, it might look a little worse, because the remasters were having 1080p resolutions, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, it doesn't matter what kind of resolution it's gonna turn out to be. Nonetheless, I look forward to it, and yeah, that's that. I'm just looking forward to it, and I will still enjoy it because those games are what I grew up with anyways. Trophies is also gonna be a thing, which is awesome. I can't wait to see if it's just gonna be the same as the PS3 version of the trilogy at least. And then Jak X, I'm not really sure what they will bring there, but I look forward to it. I just hope Sony will sell a bundle of some sort with all the games included for one price. So yeah, that is some really interesting news for me, and I just hope in the future we will see more PS2 games coming for the PS4. I mean, it would be awesome to see Killzone 1 actually being emulated with the PS2 thing, so I would actually be happy to see that, but maybe it's just me, I don't know. And then there's also the news about the Xbox Scorpio with the specs and all that stuff being revealed, and it seems pretty interesting. I guess I don't really have much knowledge about hardware anyway, but from what I understood, the only thing that I noticed was that it had 12 gigabytes of GDDR5 RAM, which is pretty exciting, because the current PS4 has 8, and same goes with the Xbox One and One S. So that's pretty nice to see it being bumped up, and it is, after all, because it is a premium console, so that is pretty understandable. Obviously it also has 6 teraflops, as they've mentioned back in E3, and that's pretty much all I really know about the hardware stuff, at least. I don't really remember all the other things, but it needs more power obviously. But the price tag is something that might be a little bit high, and I'm assuming that price tag might turn me off, because I'm not really sure if I want to pay something like $500 or even more. So I hope it will be a sweet $400 price tag, but I doubt it since it has so much power, so we'll see. But the Scorpio has been revealed for this week, and it seems pretty interesting looking from it from a spec standpoint. So I look forward to see what they will show at E3, and then I'm curious to know whether or not it's worth a buy or purchase for me, because I do actually have a plan to someday own an Xbox console, because I actually wanted one since the 360 era actually. I just never got it because I didn't have any money, to be honest, and if I did, I thought it was better to spend it on some PS3 games, because I already owned the PS3 at that time being. So I didn't really get one, but I really wanted one at the same time, and that was mainly because of Call of Duty being released back then, and some certain games that were available on the 360 compared to the PS3, which didn't get some of those, like Splinter Cell Conviction or Left 4 Dead 1 and 2. So there is some games that I consider, but the thing that turned me off with the Xbox 360 back then, and the fact that I never got it, was because, well, first of all, the controller required batteries, which the Xbox One still does, I'm pretty sure. Not a big fan of that. I want them to do like Sony does, where you can just charge it just like that. And the fact that the thumbsticks were different on the Xbox controller, I couldn't get used to it. It because I was used to the DualShock 3 controller back then. Now I'm used to the DualShock 4. It just feels awkward to play with the Xbox One controller now, so I need to get used to that before I would get one. But the fact that you also had to pay for online back then, which was really a huge thing for me because I was pretty broke and I didn't have money all the time to spend and all that stuff, so I wasn't a big fan that you had to pay for online compared to the PS3 because it was, well, free to play online on the PS3, and it still is today, which is awesome, and I really wish Sony could have continued that thing, but sadly they had to implement PS Plus as a thing in order to play online now, and I get why, because you make a lot of money and it is a business and all that stuff, but from a consumer standpoint I would say they should have made it free to play just like they did on the PS3. I'm looking forward to the Scorpio nonetheless, and it's really interesting to see what it's gonna bring to the table. But at the same time, I'm not really sure if it's worth it since I'm a PlayStation gamer and I have a PC now, so I don't really need a lot of third-party games because I can just get them on PlayStation because that is where I mainly play. But in terms of exclusives, there is some certain titles that I might want, like Sunset Overdrive, and that is actually it when it comes to the exclusives, because they don't really have that many that I'm interested in. But still, backwards compatibility, some of those games I might be interested in. I'm gonna look into what exclusives Xbox will have, but if it's all gonna be on PC as it is right now except Sunset Overdrive, then I might as well just not get it. But I look forward to it nonetheless, and it's really interesting to see the specs, at least on the Xbox Scorpio. And yeah, basically I'm gonna look into it, look forward to it, and hopefully it will be a great console and have a lot of success. Next bit of news that I thought was worth mentioning was the fact that Call of Duty Infinite Warfare is getting the map pack 2 really soon, and I don't really remember the release date for that map pack, but it is coming out really soon, I'm pretty sure, and it's called Continuum or something like that, and it has some really interesting maps. From what I saw, it just reminds me of other maps in general in the base game, and I did look at some of the screenshots. One of them was obviously Axis, which is the Modern Warfare 2 classic map remake Rust, which is a really bad idea in my opinion because jetpacks just doesn't fit in a already really small map like that, and I don't really know how it's gonna play on Infinite Warfare, but I would actually appreciate them adding that into the tactical team deathmatch playlist. That would be awesome because then there wouldn't be any thrust jumping all the time. But yeah, I look forward to see it and play it, but the map design just doesn't look too good when I look at the screenshot because it already reminds me of something completely else, and doesn't really look like Rust in general actually. Maybe a little bit, but not much. Then there is also another map which I remember looking at a screenshot with. I don't really know what the name was, but I remember seeing a big shark. That screenshot of that map, which I said before I don't know, it's a map that I really think looks a lot like another map which is like Precinct or whatever it's called, that map, and it really looks like the middle section just in a different layout really quickly. But when I looked at the screenshot really quickly, it really just reminded me of that middle section there. And the other map that I remembered looking like something else was that moon scrapyard thing screenshot. It really reminds me of Terminal because Terminal is based on the moon already as well, and the layout is obviously different, so maybe they'll play differently. And the last map, which I don't even know the map name of either, but looking at the screenshot, it really reminded me of Genesis, just with more nature or with more rocks actually, and that isn't really something I'm too happy about. Maybe that's just me that thought it looked like Genesis. In general, they look solid. I still look forward to try them out, but at the same time I'm not really sure if they will play differently in Call of Duty Infinite Warfare than these current maps. But I hope they will, and hopefully they will bring something new to the game already, and hopefully there's gonna be some more weapons, new weapons coming out and not variants. Lately there's been some weapons coming out, and since I already own the season pass, I really think that Infinity Ward did a great job giving them out for free, the base variants or the base weapon in general for season pass owners for free. That was a really nice gesture of them, and I really thought that was nice. I really wish Treyarch could do that with Black Ops 3 because I was kind of pissed to see that it was gonna be supply drop exclusive weapons, but yeah, it is what it is. And then last but not least, something that I noticed really quickly is that DICE, which is the creators of Battlefield, has their 25th anniversary, and that was pretty exciting as well. Since I'm recording this on April 7th, and I don't really expect to being able to upload this, well, technically yesterday from when I uploaded for you viewers, because I'll upload it tomorrow. So yeah, basically DICE has this 25th year anniversary today, as it is right now, which I thought was worth mentioning really quickly. So yeah, that is so far the most interesting news I thought was worth mentioning right now. Not really sure with other news coming up afterward. As it is right now, those were some quick news that I thought was worth mentioning. So I hope you viewers enjoyed this video, and hopefully I will see you viewers on the next one.
Oh, let's break it! Damn!
My ultimate is almost ready.
Para reporting. Work together. Step back. I'll show them. Now, you have my thanks.
Round 4, yes. Score 2-2.